5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and.
You and I, we were born under one sky. You and I can share our laughter. Why do we try? Why do we deny that you and I, we were born under one sky? You and I, we were born under one sky. You and I can share our laughter. Why do we try? Why do we deny that you and I, we were born?
Color Me Human takes us from the universe and from people being embryos, and also it takes us to the caves. It also takes us to the migration from the central parts of Africa to coming south, the Bantu migrations, and it takes us to the clan gathering and the expansion. It takes us to confluences, and it also takes us to slavery.
Color Me Human is inspired by a recognition of the need for a different way of living together, collectively as opposed to individually within the world.
I think for me it's beautiful. It enriches my soul because it's music mixed with dance, with movement. So it's food of the soul.
But to me, just the word human means having feelings. It means having feelings of compassion, of empathy, of respect, and just being a person amongst other people.
That's the one. Okay, open the next one. Yeah, open the next one. All right. It's fine. I don't have a problem with this. Just get the last. Just a little bit back.
Everywhere in the world where you go, in every culture that you can think of, we all pride ourselves in the way we move, in the way we dance, in the way we express ourselves. Especially in South Africa, when we can bring it back home. I mean, this show is not solely about South Africa, but it's about the world. It's about humanity.
Right now, at this juncture, you look at humanity and we have serious issues facing us. Many wars, be it because of religion, because of politics or whatever. And so this is an attempt, a creative attempt at recognizing the oneness and the commonness of humanity.
We're going to play together.
I think for me, with Color Me Human, it was, I think, the personal connection that I had with Steve that made me understand the concept that he is running with.
How is Wilhelm now placed
Wilhelm is fine. Also, he's ready.
Let's do it sooner rather than later.
My personal journey in this work, it's been a short one but packed, because we had to dive into something that has been brewing in Steve Dyer's head and imagination for past 5 years. He gave us the brief and we had to understand it, and then we had to fulfill it.
In the process, Color Me Human, it's been different from every scene, because from scene to scene, because all the songs have titles. and from titles you hear Steve's melody, which suggests or challenges certain movements. So it has been different with every song.
Everything had to be minimal. We have a band and we have dancers on stage. I had to, in terms of the band, I had to make them look minimal. They had to be on stage, but yet not be on stage. So you see them, but you don't. So I used lace. So lace is transparent, and the design, the set design, they used curtains. So I wanted the entire thing to enhance.
What happened now?
Well, the dancing aspect of it is just to really pierce all the things that, people try and hide and avoid and ignore. As people, we just have body language. You can pick up a vibe and an energy through how people just are in a room, and if you're just speaking to one person. So we're just kind of using our bodies and our language, if I may, to kind of expose and show how we would like to see the world interact more.
I also think that because we all talk different languages, and music and sensory perception is a universal language, there's not a whole lot of talking. In fact, there's no spoken word in this musical. That's why we call it a New World musical. Yeah, musical for the New World.
He kept on improvising to see what can come out of it. I was trying to ask myself as an artist, if I was a star or if I was something that exists in the space, how would I move? I'm not depicting it, but I'm saying at this point that's what I am. How would I reinvent that?
But we're just using our bodies and our form of language to kind of show and tell people that this is how humans can rather be.
As humans, we don't understand our past. No one can definitively say this is where we come from. And so we are appealing to all human beings. So we are not proposing one way of the way that the conception of the world.
Understanding of it, I think somehow always artists tend to express what is very necessary in society at the time, and I think for ourselves, 21 years into our democracy, we're still living with the legacy of separation, and I think he's just really trying to speak about a message that is really necessary in order for us to move on.
To go out.
How do I exit as? Can I exit as a human being, or do I need to go back
Don't
to the
scream. Move like an embryo, scream like a human.
No, I'm talking about the exit, because for the screening
Yeah, it's still an embryo.
Before we understand art as a form, but art is created by human beings, it's created by you and I, and how do we relate to each other? Then comes the actual form, and that's where I think the art comes in.
With artists, their job is to express things, but not necessarily always verbally. So an artist's job, a musician, when we're supposed to depict a sad situation, that is what we know how to express that, and same as dancers. So if you have the general storyline, what we were doing mainly was workshopping different ways of how we can express that.
I think it is important important to also understand that it dance varies. You know, you can be as literal as you want, you can be as abstract as you want. Some audience members prefer to be spoon-fed and some they don't. They want to think for themselves. So I think for me, now, the direction that I took, We Color Me Human, was more of an abstract one, which I didn't want necessarily to be obvious to the audience what I wanted to say. But I think the music tells you what kind of picture this is supposed to paint.
Show couldn't have come at a better time, where it can really enter into the minds of people and hopefully change a lot of perceptions.
What I'd like to leave is for people that come to see the show, I'd love them to leave the theatre and think, wow, maybe this has expanded my horizons in some way. I don't think as closed as I do.
Person who's watching, who's part of this whole experience, you decide what you want to take out of that, you know.
The differences that we sometimes refer to are more accurately differences of ethnicity and language and culture, but we are all one human race. So color you, color me, color free, color me human.
I think it's crucial, especially in the history of South Africa today, but the global history as well, because there are so many things that are happening and people forget that we are who we are because we are beings. Before we are male and female, we are, you know, we are one person.
We are all beautiful, we are all human, we are all special, and at the same time, within the same wavelength, we have such an incredible ability to cause harm to each other and self.
But it's purely understanding that what I am is exactly what you are. You are no different from me.